Howdy, howdy.
Hello!
There, that our router sucks.
They do go out after a while, so sometimes they need to get upgraded.
It's a brand new one that was the
Oh,
most expensive one I could find, and it sucks buttholes.
yeah.
Don't know
That-
why, but we suspect it's somehow throttling the number of devices it wants to route for.
Really?
The product is supposed to be able to support like up to 60 devices, but periodically like we'll just turn on like Apple TV in the other room of the house or something, and then like one of the iPads stops being connected to the internet. And then like you have to reset the router, and then the powered on devices all connect no problem, but then something that wasn't on during the reset has no internet.
Or
It
it'll
sounds like that. Yeah, it sounds like it's using one of the other's IP address or whatnot to go
it'll
through.
do totally fine if you're like playing a video game, but then you go to open up a web browser,
Sure.
and for some reason having the second thing accessing the internet like freezes things. So I'm
Goes.
sure John opened a tab or tried to
I
do
did.
something. Yep, and for whatever reason that's like, nope, hard pass. You're just gonna have to restart it if you want to do things again. It's like no.
That that happens. Can you guys hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. That happens because the router just can't handle that many connections. And yeah, that's you might be able to. Have you updated the firmware on it?
No.
No, but I could look at
Try
doing that
that.
after this. Okay.
Try that because a lot of times they patch that out. That's kind of a standard thing that they do.
Thank you.
I,
So
I,
sorry.
I don't suppose, John, you'll let me use my inspiration to undo the damage I've caused.
I mean, I don't know that we've done damage yet. I mean, actually, that's not fair. I do know. You don't. I think it'll be more interesting to see this play out.
Okay.
I've decided I don't want to just murder Amon in a, cavernous fall to his death. So,
It's okay. He's
Well,
gonna
thanks for
land
that.
in water. He'll be fine.
I
And
mean, that
drown.
is what you foresaw.
And then drown.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something going to eat him in the water, but
Don't worry. The hero that is known as Draco is there by his side.
yeah, Draco is gonna save him. He's gonna fire guy teleport him up onto the stairs. We're good.
Yep. Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna. You know what? Thank you.
It's a mage.
See, yeah, I think Hoppy would attack the mage. He's gonna try and uh, kill him so he can move down and support Oni. So I'll go ahead and move over here, and I am raging. And I should have advantage, but the 21 or 17 hit.
It does.
Okay, then I'm not going to worry about doing another one. And then there's a second one.
Also, yes.
On the dude in front of me.
Cremate him like that chair.
And your little dog too.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do horns. So that's it. That's the end of my turn.
Oh, that's so close. I might give it to you. Hoppy, you throttle him hard, aggressively plowing into him with the warglaive, hurting him badly enough that like his eyes roll backwards in his head, the tentacle suckers disappear, and he looks at you like with a frightened level of panicked confusion, like if someone was woken from their bed by an angry minotaur, is kind of the vibe you're getting from him. Like, and once he's kind of snapped back into that like reality of I'm being choked by a minotaur. Why am I being choked by a minotaur? like you can see that sort of look of panic and confusion in his face. He goes limp in your arms, like completely submissive puppy style, like, okay, please, here's my tummy, don't kill me. And while at the same time that happens, the regent Lillipillipi stops laying down on the ground and just begins to float in the air again, with like an air of confidence you haven't seen from her since the fight started. It is Renan's turn now.
I am very confused.
You're hanging off of the edge of the stairwell.
Yeah.
Or the pit.
So, where am I? Am I here?
You can be anywhere out of the center of the ring. Like the sort of overlapping Venn diagram circles is now an open void, so you can have dodged anywhere you'd like to be.
Okay, so if it moved me there, does that count as me moving?
I would say it's covered by the reaction, so no.
Sweet. I'm gonna be like, Oniara, what's my move?
Get to safety! Get away
I'm
from
safe.
the edge! I would feel much better if you were, like, behind me and away from those giant sled guys, so they don't
Okay,
try to
I'll move
push
to
you.
behind you.
Oh,
And can I firebolt this guy even though Oni is right there?
yes.
Okay, I don't want to hurt Oni as my...
I would recommend not rolling a 1.
Thanks!
That is a hit.
I think I get sneak because she's in melee, right?
You don't on a spell. It has to be a ranged attack or a melee attack with a
Just
style weapon.
kidding. Just joking.
Just joshing, yeah.
Just joshing you.
I'll take the 13. I had to move, so I couldn't do my normal.
Your ideal setup, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else from Renan?
I don't like when you ask it like that.
I ask only because normally your bonus action is tied up in the steady aim, but since you moved, you do technically have a bonus. I wasn't like I'm not saying that I know you have something, but just
Yeah, I don't have anything I want to do.
Okay.
Because it will involve moving.
Draco, what's your turn?
Okay, so I am still falling, or have I reached the bottom, or what happened?
You are falling. About 40 to 50 feet would be like your 1 Mississippi, 2 Mrs. Splash into deep, dark water. You can still see the light above you, looking upwards at the throne room. You can hear the sounds of pitched battle happening.
I got dark vision.
For as far as you can see in every direction, there is just black water.
That
Well,
is
I guess
creepy.
it appears gray to you, slightly off-scaled gray, but yeah, just still, calm, dark, cold water. It puts you ill at ease.
And do I happen to see Amon floating around?
Because of the arms and armor he's wearing, you suspect without significant treading of water, he would not float.
Oh, crap.
Oh no!
Alright, I'm gonna dive down and see if I can find him. I mean, I'm a little guy, but I got my other little guy can help transport him a little bit, maybe.
Yep. Once you dip your head beneath the waves, you can, at the barest extent of the dark vision that you have, you can see the sort of formless, shapeless, it looks sort of like a crescent moon, just body gently sinking into the depths.
Okay. Quick thinking. If I can see him, I summon Fire Dude from above to come down, and if nothing else, grab Amon and keep him above water, kind of, teleport back up above water type of thing, so he can tread.
Does Fire Guy extinguish in water?
He's a familiar. So that's a good question. That's a very good question.
No water. Okay, boss.
Don't look
He's
at it too
magic
closely.
fire, though. He's magic fire.
Don't worry about
He's a
it. Worry
wild-
about yourself.
Mostly joking, but it does seem like it would be an interesting flavor fail.
That would.
He jumps down. I would have him make an athletics check to try to either swim Amon to the surface or at least help create some kind of positive buoyancy.
Yeah, how would okay? What do you think?
You would think that
athletics?
falling into water would wake him up.
He doesn't have that option for athletics. He's got strength, dexterity, constitution.
Yeah, so just strength then. Athletics is like a proficiency of strength.
Okay.
If he has no athletics, it's just raw strength, which I'm guessing is not great.
Right. So. He trying. He trying.
Yep. When we get to Amon's turn, I'll have him make a saving throw. Yep, your little guy is like attached to him and kicking and swimming his heart out.
He could teleport back up towards the top though, but basically I have to get him his head above water, and then maybe I can reach out and grab Amon.
Sure.
That's yeah.
Blink to the surface.
Well, with how far he said what 40 feet, and actually he could go 60 feet, so that would be close.
If he's got a teleport, I'm happy to say that the wildfire spirit is able to like blink him to the surface for now, and then just start to gently sink back into the into the water
So
again.
we'll do that, and I'll like try to get next to him and hold Amon's head up above water as I'm scoping out the area.
Working in concert, it seems like you guys are going to be able to lifeguard the situation and at least keep him from drowning. Like, assuming nothing else changes and there's nothing horrible in the water that's going to eat you, for right now you've solved the immediate crisis.
Mhm.
Okay, so and then with that, it would take with me trying to hold onto him and stuff like that. I probably can't cast a spell to give him a little bit of life, right?
You only used your bonus action for the spirit, right?
Right. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So I can.
Action, yeah.
I'll do healing word onto Amon. Go. Give me a second. There you go. Got him a little bit. Get a little healing.
Amon goes to 14.
Hooray!
I don't know if Caleb's there or not. I don't see video, but you are. I put
I'm
help
here.
for you, and you kind of snap to consciousness. There's the wildfire spirit trying to hold your head above water and like struggling with just the weight of your skull. You're in a deep pool of dark black water, in good company, but
Very good company.
Have to do
Amazing company.
a bit of catching you up. Oni, it
I'm
is your
alive.
turn.
Okay, since I'm standing above Lillipillipi on the stairs, can I grab her neck easily since she's hovering a little bit over the ground?
It will require a grapple check, and it will require you to have a free hand, which means sheathing one or both of your swords.
My swords. But I don't wanna.
Don't do it.
I mean, until you
just
get like a trunk
grow
or
another
a
arm.
prehensile tail. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do it. Since it goes into one sword, right? The two swords go into one
It can,
sword.
yep.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna try to grapple her.
Okay.
So I can
That's an
shake some
athletics check
sense into
opposed
her.
by her athletics check.
26.
Oh, nope, you failed. That's basically a 1.
Ha! Did it.
It was close.
Missed by that much.
Maybe overconfidence, maybe just a lack of like martial training, but like as you kind of just grab her, like there's not even like a slap attempt to stop it, and you have a firm grasp around her throat.
I'm gonna try to carry her. I understand that might get an attack of opportunity from this guy, but I'm gonna try to carry her to the edge and hang her over. Now, I wouldn't know this, but does her weight feel different? Because you had mentioned that before.
It does feel heavier than like, you know, a
She should for a
5'2"
floating
waif-thin
person.
woman
Okay.
would feel. Like she feels more like a well-muscled man. I mean, you've had experience handling both, and this is just more like a burly gladiator dude than it is a dainty waif.
Okay. I'm gonna try to carry her to the edge and hold her over the pit.
He's seriously floating.
Yeah, it's normally when you're grappling, you can only move at half your speed, so I think you end up like a square short. But this is kind of fun, so I'm gonna allow it.
Okay. I'm shaking. I'm not being gentle about this walk. I am shaking her while we're doing it to try to get some kind of rise out of her.
Is your intention to drop her, or are you trying to do this as like an act of
As a threat, I'm
intimidation?
not letting her go.
Let's have you make an intimidation roll.
Oh no, guys, I'm not very intimidating.
No, you're not.
I do have an inspiration token. I can try to be a little more intimidating than that, but
It would be hard to be less.
okay, let's try it. Come on, Oni Green.
Oh,
That is just not. Every time I try to use an inspiration token, every time.
You are exactly the same level of not intimidating.
It's the face.
You talk me through the threat. Go ahead and threaten me as you would her.
Ugh. I don't know what has a hold on you, but we are here to end it. Tell us what to do to set you free.
Say its
I
name.
guess I can see why you're not intimidating. You're offering to help her as you're
I
dangling her
rolled a
over.
6. There was no threat.
Really?
Just, this is what the situation is. We're here to help.
So Meg, question for you:
Mhm.
if you were to receive information that is not, it would be privileged in that only you would have access to it, but it's not like top secret or super prejudicial. Would you like me to share it with you privately, and you can decide how much, if anything, you want to tell other people? Or would you rather it just be something that we disseminate to everybody, and if it ever becomes salient, the people who wouldn't have heard it have to pretend like they didn't hear it?
She'll likely just repeat anything that she experiences anyway, so I'm fine sharing it as a group with the understanding that whatever she experiences, she's probably just going to communicate to the team.
Sure. The floating Kuatoan goddess of Regent Lillipillipi, this statuesque being, barely has enough like air in her lungs to chuckle at your intimidation, and like reflexively, or because you woke up this morning wishing a motherfucker would, you just tighten your grasp around her throat, like to a point that it's asphyxiating her. There's a moment where you can feel her tremble, like you can feel her heart race, and her body starts to go limp, and a panicked emotion just kind of washes into your mind, like a bottle being carried in by the tide. It's a oddly shaped, very very round, very rotund Piscine Kuatoan woman praying to a statue, and she's openly weeping. Like you get the sense of desperation, like she's hoping that something, anything, would answer her prayers.
Do I recognize the statue as a tentacled monster?
It does look like a tentacled monster. Not one of the 3 you've seen downstairs, but a 4th, as of yet undiscovered one. And as you're reliving this, what you assume is a memory, there's this momentary flash of terror and panic from her mind, and her eyes go white, and for a moment you can see through the illusion. She is this small, sort of portly Kuatoan woman, wreathed in writhing tentacles that cup around her shoulders and her breasts, down her legs, down her arms, with one notably large, well-muscled tentacle wrapped around her neck twice and inserting itself in the back of her brain. And in this moment that you see her, she looks entirely vulnerable, and has just a split second before all of that washes away and you can feel nothing anymore. And the thought is just a very panicked, very sad, kill me.
With my hand around her neck, can I feel the tentacle in the back?
No, you get it feels more like a symbolic thing rather than a physical attachment.
Damn, I was gonna try to rip it out. Okay.
Good instincts.
Are All right, I'm going to shout to Draco. They're under some kind of spell. We need to. They've been taken over, I'm guessing, by the fourth being. We need to find a way to dispel it, the magic that's holding them. I guess. It's not very eloquent, but.
No such spell exists.
Well, then we've got to find the monster and kill it.
That's just because he literally cast Dispel Magic last session.
Okay, and that's my turn. So I have
Okay.
told them what I saw, that they are under, that they are not as they seem, and that they are under the control of some type of tentacled monster, and that we need to find a way to free them. Don't stab a bitch.
Okay.
Unless we find the bad guy and stab that bitch.
It's their turn. They are going to make an attack against Oni as they both try to throttle you for strangling their regent.
Did they not
Rux-
understand what I just said? Or are they
Rux
also
gets in
tentacle
between
brained?
you and the blue one and takes a claw to the face,
Nice.
trying to protect you, to shield you, and he does his best to explain to them what's happening. They kind of get it, but he orders the city guard into the door, and you can hear them trying to batter down the door behind you that enters into this entryway.
Okay.
But he asks you and the rest of your troop of adventurers to please not kill them if you don't have to. But he understands that there's more at stake here than the lives of a few guards. He'd rather not have any more innocent blood on his hands, but if they won't relent, then, shoot to wound if possible.
Agreed.
Question.
Answer.
No, this is more for the team. Who has Ion Stone of Purification?
Draco.
Is it down in the water? Okay. Well, maybe throw her in the water then.
We'll jump ahead to Amon's turn as the city guard, or Rux, begins to combat the two bodyguards to buy Oni some time.
Why do you hate me?
I'm just gonna start by looking around at my surroundings and see if I can figure out a way out of here.
As far as you guys can see, the water fills, an infinite amount of space theoretically in every direction. About 40 feet above you, you can see the opening to the trap that deposited you here. You can still hear the sounds of pitched battle above, as well as the screams and cheers of your allies and enemies. And then suddenly you can see the dangling feet of the Lillipillipi over the edge of the platform, about 40 feet above you.
But there's no obvious way out aside from like swimming in some direction.
Yeah,
Out
if
of
you picked
sight.
a direction and swam far enough, we might be able to learn more about the geography of this cistern. But for right now,
Okay. Shoot.
Zeke is having a really hard time. Let me see if I can go.
Yeah, I don't know that there's much I can do. I'm gonna just call for help, I guess. Try to get somebody else's attention to get me out of the water. Actually, I'm gonna take a healing potion, but I can do that while everyone else is doing stuff.
nice, thanks. Good plan. It is Puppy's turn.
Hoppy's stuffing his face.
With animal style, I hope.
No.
I'm back.
okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. So this guy is in front of me is no longer a threat.
He just seems scared and confused, like a person who just woke up from like a nightmare. Like adrenaline is flooding his body, but he's kind of just like I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why you're hitting me. Please stop hitting me.
Okay, well, as long as he's not like taking any action, I'm just gonna assume that he's not going to be an issue. I'm gonna look at this guy up in the top right. What's he up to?
He is just hiding, like behind a piece of like decorative ornamentation, possibly soiling himself, but he just looks terrified.
Not a threat.
Not
Okay.
a brave person, not likely to be a threat. No.
Hoppy is going to run down here. All right, let me think about this. 1, 2.
Is the trick then to
Okay,
bring
I'd
in
have
the
to actually. I would have to run to get down past these guys. Does it look like what was his name? Rex?
Rux.
Rux. Does it look like Rux is going to be able to talk some sense into them?
It is not clear to you whether he will be able to talk them down, but he's physically engaged them. He looks like he's, at least at this point in time, an ally who's capable of holding the line for a few turns.
Okay. Then I'm going to grab my my immovable rod and tie the rope to it, and I'm gonna come down to here is as far as I can go. I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna jump and try and throw the rope over the edge into the water.
Okay.
And set the immovable rod from moving.
Okay. The rope uncoils and unfurls. It's 50 feet of rope and a 40-foot thing. So like the nubbin of the end of the rope is just about at the surface of the water, maybe 6 inches above the surface of the water. It wouldn't take effort to grab it from someone who was stuck in the pit.
Okay.
No slack to spare, but you have a way down or a way up, depending on whether you'd rather be down or up. Renan's turn.
Hoppy just did. So I heard you're using the immovable rod to try and get them out of the pit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I just lost everything. Sorry.
That seems to be going around today.
It does.
Okay, and Oni,
I've got the lady around the neck and I'm holding her over the edge.
And if I look around, John, I can't see any objects that seem suspicious, or I would like to look around to see if there is something in this room that we have missed that is possibly a statue or like the tentacle god controlling all of this. Yeah, what the hell is that?
That's another dude, one of her other advisors, that we haven't interacted with at all.
Yes, we have. We
He's
have
just
interacted with him.
Scared and hanging
The
out
other one.
behind the chair. That's why Hoppy left him there. He
Well,
wasn't any
there's
threat.
2 of them up there.
Yeah, the second.
This is the magic user.
The
The other
second
guy,
one,
he hasn't
the
done
one-
anything.
The one at the top was.
We haven't
the
done
threat.
anything with this one.
Right.
He's just hiding.
Just what a
doing
manipulator
a-
would do.
Quick surveil of the area. There's no obvious signs of anything. Any element that seems related to the tentacleness of this has been very well hidden so far. So if there is anything in this throne room, it's likely
I don't see
invisible
it.
to your eyes. Nothing here suggests like a control mechanism or like an obvious creature hiding in plain sight.
Okay, and can I see this thing?
The dude.
If you ping something, I missed it. I'm sorry.
The dude to the
Yeah,
left.
he's he was the Queen Regent's or the High Regent's second advisor. Once combat started, he just ran to the back of the room and is like hiding behind a trunk of gowns.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot him just to see what happens. Can I? So if I have clear sight.
Where are you? Yeah. The stairs aren't that tall. Like it'd be shooting high, but
And you killed him. One shot.
It does wound him pretty aggressively. That's 25 damage. I'll show you his health bar.
No change.
He's hiding, and you shoot him, and you hear him yelp in pain, and he starts what you think is prayer.
Oh, great.
He just seems like
just-
he's afraid of dying, and
I'll just be like, sorry, I wasn't sure if you were the cause of all this.
Had to
just
make
trying
sure.
to figure it out.
ticking
So
boxes.
all you can do is say
ticking
ow
boxes.
and you put your guard down? Good to know.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
might
he
not
was
work the
just
way you want it
pooping
for you.
himself over there.
All right. It is Draco's turn. Draco, in the hole, you see a length of coiled rope has now been dropped in. Presumably, it's attached to something.
Okay, since I had disappeared for a moment, what happened to Amon?
Amon is conscious, in the floating life position, and he just chugged a health potion
Okay.
to get even healthier. And he's conscious, alive, awake. You got him caught up on how you ended up down here in the water.
Cool.
He wanted to try to explore the area, but thought maybe it was better to just wait here for rescue in the shaft of light. But that there was a potential moment where he might try to just swim 60 feet and see if anything new changed. Whilst you are contemplating similar options, you can feel movement in the water around you.
Oh, I hate deep
Not-
water.
You can't see ripples or anything, but you can just feel the water has been so still and so calm, but now you can just feel a current.
Okay. All right. Since everything closed out, I gotta pop my window back open. Sorry.
Up it back.
Okay, I'm going to. Where's that? There's a particular spell I was looking for. Yes, it slipped my mind. Alright, I'm gonna skip my turn for the moment. You come back to me?
Sure, yeah.
Because I don't want to slow things down.
Oni, we're back to you choking a bitch.
When I saw her tentacles, did I see any of them? Did I see where they originated from? That they happened to be wrapped around her, but were they coming from any part of this room?
You didn't get a sense of that. More like she was wearing them like a suit of armor.
Well, I don't have the mask, so I can't throw the mask on her. We can communicate, so taking the mermaid potion isn't going to help. Do I see the rippling in the water also?
No, but if Draco wasn't quiet about it, I'm sure that can be communicated.
All right.
Yeah, shit, there's something down here. There's something down here.
I'm going to set Lillipillipi down behind me and separate my swords and jump into the water.
And then shut down all the trash compactors on the detention level.
Exactly.
Great. Bonsai! Make an athletics check.
She's a remarkable athlete.
Let's see it. I don't know, I feel like that's markable.
I mean, it wasn't quite a belly flop, but it was definitely not like one of those very small little diving bloops.
Yeah,
When I landed.
You're gonna lose points for the splash for sure.
Yeah.
That's just 30
Okay.
or so feet. You realize this is a lot deeper than you thought. Maybe head first wasn't the right call here.
Doesn't matter. It's the only speed I go.
Yeah, you splash with a little bit more of a ka-chunk and a cannonball balloon than you were maybe hoping for from a visual perspective. No damage is taken, and you're able to tread water and kick back up to the surface just fine. You have sort of displaced by inertia wave Draco and the fire guy and Amon, who was just trying to tread water.
I wasn't trying to go straight back up. I was trying to identify any threats underneath the water. So
Oh sure, if you want to stay.
I'll go as
subaquatic,
far
that's
as
fine.
I can, looking for whatever is
We'll
down
use the
here.
same athletics check for your swim check. You dive deep, and the force of gravity has propelled you basically 20-ish feet deep into the water. You have sort of lost the initial inertia of the dive, but you can swim pretty well, despite being clad in armor and carrying swords. After about 30 or so feet, you can make out the bottom of this well. It looks like it's made of like stacked manufactured stone bricks. Like this is a deliberately made, cistern or sub cavern. It's not natural. You find a floor. There are no walls to the left and right as far as you can see. Nothing behind you, nothing in front of you, but you have found a floor. It's, maybe 35, 40-ish feet deep.
Okay. And I don't see anything under there?
To the limit of your ability to see, you don't see any. You can barely, looking up, barely see the feet of Draco and Amon treading water.
Even with my dark vision?
Yeah.
Okay.
Murky water, still murky water, right?
Since there's, I guess, nothing that I see right now, do I sense any movement? Since I can't see anything? I'm contemplating whether or not I should just use my action to take my water breathing potion now and stay here at the bottom.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay. Then I pass turn.
Give me a perception check. To perceive, not just to see. You have other senses. No, you don't.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. I know what I'm going to do if I could take my turn whenever Oni's done.
Yep. I'm
Oni,
done.
from your perspective, and in entirely a subjective sense, looking ahead of you, behind you, to your left and to your right, you just calm yourself and just really try to focus in the moment and just reach out with all of your senses to see if there's anything you can detect. In this three-dimensional, entirely subjective to you sense, you can feel like the water is moving slightly from your left side towards your right side. Not like something around you is moving, but like there's just a very, very subtle undertow, a very, very small amount of moving current that like you can barely see. It's just enough to like silt and particulate that you've disturbed by swimming, rather than settling exactly where it came from, starts to just sort of drift to your left.
Okay.
Draco, you are going to reclaim your turn. What are you doing?
Well, if Oni's still underwater, I can't do my turn, so never mind then. Thought she was coming back up. Never mind.
I wouldn't be able to move any farther. I took all of my movement to get to the bottom.
You're drowning yourself?
Glub, glub, glub.
You're the one that said not to drink the water breathing potion.
Well, I thought you were popping back up.
That's Michelle about it. You just always swim to the end, right?
Well,
Do that. Don't do that, guys.
Okay, any end of Oni's turn, if Draco's got no action, the slot guards continue to be sort of roughed up by Rux, and we'll go to Amon's turn.
Can you convert water to steam? Just get rid of all of this water?
With enough fire, yep.
Alright, I'm gonna pull on the rope and see if I can
Anchored.
climb up.
Are you proficient in athletics?
I am, yes.
Then it is easy for you to climb hand over hand until you can loop your feet, and up you go. Ascendio.
Huzzah! 40, I mean, it's 50 feet of rope or 40 feet up.
Mhm.
Is that going to take all of my movement? Or do I need to take 2 turns?
2 turns, because you only climb at half your movement speed.
Yep. Even
So
though
at the
I'm,
end of this turn, yeah. If you take your
Even
full
though
action,
I-
you're like just about at the precipice.
I ignore difficult terrain, but this is probably different, right?
It is different, yep.
Alright, then I'm just climbing.
Copy that. Hoppy. Your well-anchored, immovable rod has tension in it
Oh,
now.
actually,
That line, you
sorry.
caught a fish.
Can I double move? Since I
I assume that's what you were doing. Using your whole turn to move is gonna let you travel 30 feet-ish. You're just about at the top.
I can. Well, all my friends are in the water. Maybe I should go in the water.
No.
Seems fair that
They
they
may
have all
need-
the fun.
They may need to be protected.
Right now, there's
I should
nothing
take a-
down here. Not that I could
I-
communicate
I-
that to you since I'm underwater.
And I can't speak common anymore, so
Oh, right.
all my friends are in the water, and Lillipillipi is up here, and we were fighting her a minute ago. Maybe I take her and go into the water.
Bring her with you. I like it.
I assume I heard splashes, so...
That transcends the language barrier.
I don't see any reason to harass these two. They're just doing their job, and Rux is keeping them busy, and I don't see anything else I can do other than just go to where my friends are. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to grapple her, and we're going to take a dive. And now we have a way out of the water.
Happy, as you grab her, no effort is made to resist you, and you get a malevolent flash, a sense of deep, dark water and like aquatic predation.
Can I step back a second?
Sure.
Can I wheel or woe whether going into the water with her is a good idea?
Sure. Is that an action, or does that take 10 minutes? My only concern.
It doesn't state that it's an action. Here, I'll post it in chat.
I have to look up augury. Yeah. Or clairvoyance, rather.
Oh, it's 1 minute.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Screw it. Oh, wait. Okay. Screw it. We'll do it anyway. Yes, I will grapple her. So I think that's a strength check.
Yep, athletics.
Athletics.
No problems. You grab her, push off the stone edge, and jump into the water. As I began to describe, you get a mental projection from Lillipillipi again. Although you get the sense it's like not, it's more like through her rather than from her. And a malevolent voice that makes you feel like something that's been watching you for a while is now finally going to take action in terms of eating you, like a person who's been treading water beneath the shark for so long. The shark now makes
I'll say that. I'm
known,
under. I got that fear already.
and you hear a foreign, never before heard voice that says, "Bring her to me."
I hear that?
Yep.
Is it in Minotaur?
That is exactly how you heard it, so you have to assume it's in Minotaur.
It was moo 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 moo. Okay. We're in. Okay. Jumped into the water. That was my turn. Grappling her was my turn, and then jumped into the water for my movement. So
As Lillipillipi hits the water, her muscles just go completely limp. Like there's no tension to her form at all. She just kind of splays out in the water. It's even hard for you to hang on to because she creates so much additional drag as you dive into the water. And she stays face down, like her body begins to float to the top, but it stays face down in the water, and like
You killed
you
her.
can. I mean, it's like you can see air bubbles issuing forth from her mouth and her nose, like she's trying to breathe normally, but she's having some struggling difficulty even as a Coatoan.
doesn't
And
she have gills?
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to describe that she's having a hard time breathing in the water, which is
Weird.
odd. Also, the current that Oni was experiencing a moment ago suddenly seems to intensify. You guys, all of you, the four of you in the water now, can feel like a current, like a what's the word? Like a riptide, just start to pull you to the left side of the room somehow. It's, at this point, not irresistible. If you really went all out swimming against the pull of the riptide, you could probably overcome it, but it would take an all-out effort, and you feel like it's building in momentum.
Is this
There's
what
been an
we're
opening
gonna
and it's
call
opening
it?
wider.
There's no way we're gonna resolve this in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I was going to just let you guys decide if either A, Renan wanted to jump into the water, and if you guys were going to swim against the current or let the current take you.
Well, I don't want that lady to drown if she's having trouble breathing. I don't know that we should take her, but Oni's definitely gonna
Well-
go pick a fight.
I still have her grappled, so I can get her head out of the water.
I think
definitely
going with
vote
the
for that.
current.
And Draco's
good
gonna
with
cast
going with
water
her.
breathing on all of us.
Then the only question I have is for Renan. Your friends, you can look
And
down in the
Amon.
hole, are suddenly just like shifted by the pull of this tide out of your sight, with Lillipillipi in tow. The
I'm
water
jumping
seems
in.
to be moving. Okay.
Yeah, if Oni's in there, I'm jumping in, and I'm gonna like gesture to Hoppy. Come on, you stupid fucking cow!
I'm already down there.
Yep.
Oh,
Get out
good.
The way.
He
Get out the way.
Amon's
he
the only
brought
one that was climbing out.
Lillipillipi down.
Amon was climbing
Yeah.
up.
I'm gonna climb up just in time to see Renan dive off, and I'll grab the rod, the immovable rod and the rope, stash them, and then just follow after. Actually,
Get her way out.
Get out of here!
I'm gonna run really quickly and grab my bow off the ground.
Nice. You're taking the rod, you said?
Yeah.
We'll find
Taking
a
the
way
rod,
out.
taking my
I'm not
bow,
worried
and the
about
rope.
it. Release
Okay,
the
guys.
people up top.
Yep, we're gonna end it right here with the current taking you into the dark unknown depths. Are we good for next Sunday?
Yes, we are.
Sweet.
In theory, yes.